I hope your mother has a good view of it.
You can't let this happen, Thong. You'll die too.
As you say in this era, totally worth it.
Haters. Whether you like to admit it or not, everyone's got a little bit of that hater inside of them. But as everything in life, there's levels to it. And there are some that stand at the top of the top when it comes to hating. Like Dio. I've only started watching JoJo's maybe like 3 episodes in, and already I've seen enough of this man to see how big of a hater he is to JoJo. To start off, the literal first time they meet, not even 5 minutes in, Dio kicks the shit out of JoJo's dog Danny. For no reason. I mean, I could understand if the dog was like charging at him, or growling, or something, but look how happy he looks. Like, you gotta be a different type of evil to be hitting dogs like that. And then he wants to come on here with that BS excuse, oh, I apologize, it was self-defense. Man, shut the fuck up. And keep in mind, Dio was taken in by the JoJo's family because Dio's father, quote unquote, saved JoJo's dad in a car accident. As a result, JoJo's family was providing him with a place to stay, food on the table, and a bed to sleep in. You know, usually when you're in another person's house, you're gonna be on your best behavior. Like when you're at a friend's house and act like the most polite you've ever been. Yeah, that's what most normal people would do. Dio though? Yeah, he just doesn't care, walking around talking to JoJo like he owns the place. And after their introduction, it just kept going downhill. It seemed like it was Dio's life mission to make JoJo miserable, even when it came to the little stuff. Like when everyone wanted Dio to teach them his boxing technique that he used to poke JoJo's eye out. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with boxing, but I'm not too sure that's legal. He literally tells everyone he'll teach it to them under the one condition that they can't tell JoJo. He also made JoJo's friends turn on him by spreading false rumors, and even when JoJo was starting to have a little romance in his life. Yeah, Dio couldn't stand that, so he went and forced her to kiss him, resulting in their relationship being ruined, I guess. I guess different times means different social standards, I guess. But out of all of these, the worst of them all was yet to come. You see, Dio went ahead and put Danny in the furnace to get burned alive. Bruh, what is this guy's problem? Keep in mind, all of this happened in episode 1. One episode for all these evil actions to occur. That's gotta be a record. And at this point, you may be wondering, why? Why exactly does Dio hate JoJo so much? I mean, there's gotta be a reason. See, that's the cool part. There is none. Granted, I've only seen 3 episodes, so maybe further down the line there will be more context, but from what I've seen, there's literally zero reason for why Dio would be preying on JoJo's downfall the way he does. Matter of fact, he's not even just praying, he's making sure it happens. Then, after episode 1, I went and watched episode 2, and it honestly started off a lot better. At the beginning of episode 2, they showed JoJo and Dio working together as a team in football and friendly with each other. Watching this scene, I caught myself thinking, you know what, maybe Dio has changed for the better. Yeah, I don't know why I ever thought that. Turns out Dio was just playing along to get and take the Joestar fortune from JoJo, purposefully causing JoJo's father to get more sick, convincing him to not see a doctor, and switching out his medicine every time so he would die. Doing this to the person who put him on everything he has, by the way. And then, when JoJo calls him out and goes to find a real cure for his dad, Dio is now dropping the whole wanting to ruin JoJo's life and make him miserable, to now straight up just wanting to kill him. I deadass dropped this show because I got too pissed off watching this. I'm done talking about this guy, he's a certified asshole and hater. Next person, Pandemic Flight Reacts. If you were a professional athlete in the years of 2020 or 2021, chances are you were getting fried by this man. Pandemic Flight Reacts was just hating on anyone for anything. The biggest victim being Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert, trash as fuck. Rudy Gobert, bro, what the fuck does he do in the NBA, bro? Yes! Look at the back!
Now, there were a few reasons for why this was the case. Dude was the face for causing the league to shut down during COVID, and 2, he just wasn't that skilled offensively. But don't get me wrong, you didn't have to be a bad player either. You could be one of the best players in your league. If you're not named Steph Curry or like a few other random players he chooses to glaze, you're gonna get hated on. Moving on, we got Zoro when he sees a minority. Every single one of his opponents have been a minority. Kuma, King, Mr. 2, Fishman, Pika. First couple times you could say it's a coincidence. It's been like the 8th time. This shit can't possibly be a coincidence anymore. On the list, we also got parents when they're in a bad mood. I swear you could be acting like the greatest child to ever grace this earth. If your parents are in a bad mood, they'll still find something to complain about. You're offering to help out? You should be minding your own business. You got 100 on your test? Should have been 105. Parents in a bad mood are the definition of moving the goalpost, also they can find something else to hate on. On a similar note, teachers before they have their coffee is also on this list. Teachers are completely different people from before versus after they drink their coffee. It's like 2 different identities. You already know this character would be on here, Reverse Flash. Now, I'm well aware there's plenty of videos that cover him already, but like, what do you want me to do? Leave him off? That would be like leaving off Tom Brady off a greatest QBs list. It's not happening. But I would like to say all the stuff I'm going to be talking about with Reverse Flash will be from the Flashpoint Paradox movie. Because if you know anything about me, I'm not a big reading guy. which honestly seems like a shame because some of the things I've heard Reverse Flash does in the comics are way worse than what I saw in the movie, and that would have been more content for me. Back to the movie though, in the Flashpoint Paradox, their first meeting was when Dude trapped Flash with a bomb and called sacrificing tens of thousands of innocent lives a small price to pay if it meant taking out Flash. Even after Flash trapped Reverse Flash with him, he was still happily willing to sacrifice himself if it meant getting rid of Flash. Then after that whole debacle ended, Flash goes into the Speed Force and he ends up saving his mom by going back in time. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really understand it that well. I'm new to this DC shit. But turns out going back in time to save his mom causes everything else to change.
Has something to do with me being
Gay.
Bruce Wayne, the original Batman, dies, his mom becomes the Joker, and his dad becomes the new Batman. But like not really, because he uses guns, and while I don't know much about DC, you can't tell me Bruce Wayne would have let this yo-yo girl do him like this. That's just my opinion though. Aquaman and Wonder Woman had a thing which kinda came out of nowhere, and then started a world war over some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Superman doesn't become the Superman we see today. Green Lantern, I guess, just isn't a thing. And Cyborg? Well, he's pretty much the same, doesn't really change. But the point is, the world is a lot worse now. And now Barry Allen has to fix it by going back into the Speed Force. When he tries though, he finds out he can't because someone else is preventing him from accessing the Speed Force. And I'ma just allow you to take a wild guess on who it is. So, can you take your guess, or are you just gonna stare at the screen silently? Alright, finally, thank you. That's right, Reverse Flash was preventing Barry Allen from entering the Speed Force and fixing the new world he unintentionally created. And he was being petty about it too, purposefully letting himself be seen to let Flash know he's the one who's preventing him from changing things. And then at the end, when Reverse Flash actually confronts Flash, Dude stabs him in the leg, makes sure Barry knows it's his fault the world is the way it is, and is ready to let the entire world end if it meant seeing the Flash suffer. But then Batman shoots him, so yeah, problem solved. Side note though, I just started getting into these new 52 DC movies and they're low-key fire. Just finished Batman Bad Blood, Damian's a dog, Talia, I don't really know why she changed so much from Son of Batman, but oh my god, bro. Anyways, thanks for watching, check out my other videos if you want, and goodbye.